Good evening, everybody. This is your boy Brandon and my co-host Calvin. This is another edition of the NY Lifestyle. Today is November 12th. The year is flying by like Usain Bolt. Got to catch it while you can. Hopefully, everybody's staying safe, wearing masks. You heard that before. On today's show, we are going to go over our week 10 picks. We have a topic of the legacy of HBCUs. We have a segment of shouting out a business and their success, and also the important work that our new president, elect Joe Biden and his other half, Kamala Harris, have in front of him. So I'm gonna let my co-host Calvin take it over from here.
Yeah, so we wanted to highlight the legacy of HBCUs. We think sometimes that the stigma behind HBCUs are that because you go to HBCU, one, it's a party school. Two, it's not equivalent to the education that you would get at a predominantly white institution, or as we call it for short, PWI, or as an Ivy League school. Our vice president, Miss Kamala Harris, is a proud alumnus of Howard University. And even though we went to Lincoln, I'm still going to shout out Howard. HU, you know.
Them Bisons.
Exactly. Because I have too many church family that has gone to Howard.
Oh yeah, shout out to my pastor. His name is James C. Simmons. He's Howard alumni as well. Even though the man of God gets on my nerves sometimes, I still love my
pastor. That's a special love for you, pastor. I will shout out a couple of Howard alum that I know. If I miss your name, commit it to my head and not my heart. Shannon Pascal, Alicia, now Damon, Jamie Pascal. Let me see here. Trying to think.
Yeah, I probably know the list is very long.
Mrs. Scott, my church brother Armani, Scott's wife. I want to make sure that I highlight her as well. And yes, the list does go on and on, but my friend Danny, who I did City Year with as well. She's also a Howard Bison. So, we wanted to make sure that we really highlighted HBCUs because, again, the stigmas around HBCUs are that they're a party school. They don't have the same quality of education as some other institutions. You hear Alabama, you just automatically know where that's from, for instance, versus if you hear Lincoln University, somebody says, well, what's Lincoln University? Where is that at? So, we wanted to make sure that we definitely highlighted HBCUs. My question I have for my co-host is, now that we have our vice president, Ms. Kamala Harris, what do you think is going to be some of the things that we need to look forward in terms of not only her role as vice president, but also as our new president-elect, Joseph R. Biden? And what should we really be pressing towards within these next 4 years?
Okay, so in terms of my opinion, I feel like she should be basically like giving like advice and input into Joe Biden's head to like the not the important things that Joe may think is on his agenda, but like getting into those Black communities, helping us out, then helping out the HBCUs. Because I do understand Joe has a lot on his plate when he gets in office, because he has to um, fix all the crack that Mr. 45 has put us through. So basically, get coming right in the door, he has to quote unquote fix the corona, and then as everybody's probably aware, we are America is in debt, so he has to figure a way on getting us back above water. And then also the other topics like the HBCUs and then the Black communities. That's where Kamala probably comes in because she is a minority and she has a better understanding of the Black minority communities. Don't get me wrong, Joe Biden may have some knowledge on it, but truth be told, he's not one of us.
Yeah, having an and actually living the experience are two different things.
Mhm.
Um, I can remember last week when both of them were speaking on the news, and Joseph Biden said that, hey, I'm not just the president of Democrats. I'm not the president of Republicans, but I'm the president of all American citizens. Um, and with Kamala, she just echoed like, hey, thank you for women, specifically African American women, voting, because from the beginning of time, African American women have gone through so much trials and tribulations,
Mhm.
discounted, been disowned, been marginalized, been undervalued, very specifically. So she wanted to highlight that. In addition to that, with her being her background, both being of Caribbean, Jamaican um, background and ancestry, and also Asian ancestry, she wanted to make sure that she highlighted all three cultures and all three communities because that's what made her be able to be the type of person that she is today.
Mhm. And then a side note, um, even though like in her past she was putting us Black people in jail for doing her job, that like I said, that's her doing her job. She don't have any hate against her. She was just doing her job. So I'm looking at it like since she was doing her job back then, maybe her job now is to help the Black.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna allow my co-host to bring us into the next segment of our talk for today.
Now, right? And as you people know, this is where the excitement of the show. We like to give knowledge and we like to give excitement on this show. So before I start, I just also, if everybody can look in the camera, the world champs. Um, we will be starting our repeat December 22nd. If you're not on board, get on board, or just stay with your losing team because we coming.
Indeed, indeed. Shout out to that purple and gold.
Mm-hmm. Now we are actually on week number 10 in the NFL season.
Come by fast. Come by fast.
Not a lot of people thought that we would even get 5 games in with this corona.
Much less 10.
Mm-hmm. Now, you don't have to see my depression look this week because Dallas is actually on a bye, so we get a win this week. Yes, because we're not playing.
I was wondering why your energy was so different. I thought it was just the Lakers city, but now I see why. I understand that. No
So now let, let
problem.
let's get into some good football, starting with my co-host's football team. See how we get everybody. Shout out everybody in America. we're gonna go down to Tennessee today for Thursday night football.
Oh, boy.
Those Calvin's Indianapolis Colts, everybody, versus the newest street fighter, Derrick Henry, and those Tennessee Titans.
Hadouken!
Now, I know I am going with the hometown team, the Tennessee Titans. Honestly, I went off of home field advantage. If it was in Indianapolis, I would have went with the Colts. But since they are in Tennessee, I'm going with Tennessee because based on a short week, the the advantage is technically with the home team because they don't have to travel or anything like that.
I mean, so I'm gonna preface this with I'm picking with my head and not my heart. My heart wants the Colts to win. Oh, no doubt about that. I want to make that abundantly clear. And if we do end up winning tonight, I will be extremely, extremely happy.
Yes, he will, America.
However, I'm going to go with my head based off of the way that Derrick Henry is running the ball. And we had some troubles with the run last week, even though we were able to keep Lamar and the crew around 150 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee's offense is what really concerns me more than anything else. You have Derrick Henry. You have A.J. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
You have Davis. You have Jonnu Smith. The list goes on and on. And I haven't even touched the defensive side of the ball. Let's not forget that the undefeated Steelers got forced into 4 picks, 4 turnovers, essentially.
And only lost by 3.
Right. And that was against Big Ben and the crew. We don't have those kind of wideouts. Just gonna name it. We have a good running game, but the things that's discounted against us is, yes, we're getting T.Y. back, but Jack Doyle is out. Not a big Jack Doyle fan. I think he shouldn't be on the Colts. That's just my 2-piece. But all that being said, Phillip has only been playing very mediocre. And I think that my coach forgot to knew how to play offense and play football. The defense showed up throughout the whole game. 24 points, you might say is a lot, but for them holding Lamar and the crew 24 points, that's not a bad day for the defense. But the offense had the defense out there way too long. Way too long. And I just feel like it's going to be a similar thing with controlling the clock and the big plays and explosiveness. So I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Shout out to Phillip Rivers and his tackling ability.
All lack thereof. His possum ability, not tackling ability, possum ability, because he was just laying there like, no.
We're going to go to Sunday. Oh, and by the way, I do want to send my condolences to Corey Davis off the Tennessee Titans. His brother just passed away yesterday from cancer. And yes, he is going to play because he said his brother would have wanted him to play tonight. Up next, Houston versus Cleveland.
I got Texans.
Yeah, we're not even gonna hold you. Like, don't get me wrong, Baker's coming back from his COVID issues, and let me tell you, Deshaun Watson has been playing real good lately.
Mm-hmm.
And no Odell, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Tennessee, not Tennessee. Houston as well.
You just doubling down on Tennessee, huh? We know. My goodness.
Up next, the football team versus the Lions. Now, the reason why I'm going with Detroit, I have three things. First thing,
They're in the NFC least.
you know, and I want to root against them so they can take the loss. Second, I'll take Matt Stafford over any quarterback on their team. And then third, their running game is actually coming into play. Shout out to the old head, Adrian Peterson.
All day. You know how in Avengers they said Captain America said, "I could do this all day."
Mm-hmm.
That's Adrian Peterson. I could do this all day.
So we double down on the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we got the same team for 3 games. Okay. And I don't think it's gonna change off this game either. So this is my lock pick. We trying something new this week. My lock pick is gonna be Green Bay over Jackson.
Yeah, lock it up.
Okay.
Oh yeah, shout out to Dez one time too. So we just gonna lock it up real quick.
Whew, another one. Philly versus the Giants.
Daddy Dive versus Walker too.
Mm-hmm. I am going with Danny to throw them dimes this week because Philly stole one last time. Shout out to Danny running for 80 yards and then passing out at the end. And then the reason why I'm going with the Giants is because they have more weapons that Danny can have compared to Carson, who has Miles Sanders
and Travis Fulgham.
Yeah, they're not Sterling Shepard and Golden Tate and Ingram.
That's true, but that's exactly the reason why I'm not gonna go with the Giants. That boy, Daddy Dimes. I don't know, cause that boy must turn over that ball. I don't know how many times. Like he give out. He might give out dimes, but he gives out turnovers too. So I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles on this one.
Jameis Winston.
Yeah, it might be looking 30 for 30 repeat.
Now, this next game, Tampa Bay versus Carolina. The way Tom Brady played last week, we don't even have to discuss that. He's coming with a vengeance this week, and I got Tampa Bay. He just got too many weapons. I'm gonna leave it there.
Tampa Bay going big.
Mm-hmm. But we did say that last week, and then
Yeah, I mean, unless you were probably a Saints fan, I don't foresee that you thought it was going to be that much of a cakewalk.
Mm-hmm. Broncos versus the Raiders. I'm going with the Raiders this week off of their running game. Josh Jacobs.
I'm going Broncos because I'm just seeing something out of this kid Lock. And I mean, shout out to Jerry Jeudy. He's coming into his own. 125 yards last game. And I mean, Las Vegas tends to be in shootouts, which kind of plays into Denver's hand a little bit. And that's the reason why I'm going Denver on this one.
Now, this one might be a shootout. Chargers versus the Dolphins.
Mm. Take for two will work.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Brian Flores. The man doesn't get enough credit for the way he's having that team playing right now.
Who would have thought they would win 4 in a row?
With bench and Patrick, they have a rookie in there, 93 yards his first game against Aaron Donald, and then 248 last week against Kyler Murray.
And they're only 2 games out of the AFC East. We're going to get to the AFC leaders in a minute. But I'm going with Mr. Tua Roll Tide this week.
Mm-hmm. Doubling down on that.
Next one, we got a what East versus West shootout. Buffalo Bills versus the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going with the hometown team of the Buffalo Bills.
This one's tough. But I'm with the Cardinals.
No explanation. All right.
D-Hop can't have 2 bad games around.
But if they can't get Josh Allen off the field without scoring,
that's why it's gonna be a shootout.
Seattle versus the Rams. Now, Russell had arguably one of the worst games of his career last week up in Buffalo. I just don't.
Little homie got hard though.
Mm,
You know, Cuz got hard.
I got him.
I think within 1 score late in the third quarter. But your defense can't give up 44 points.
Mm-hmm.
I know the moniker has been let Russ cook, and he actually has been cooking. But as one of the sports shows have discussed, if you're cooking that often, you're bound to burn a plate or 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. You ran out of time.
Revenge game. Seattle. San Fran versus New Orleans. Whew, it's getting a little chilly in here.
I think I might have to drink my Dr. Pepper for this one.
I'm going with that boy Drew Brees because if anybody watched the game last week, right? Michael Thomas came back, caught a few passes. Wasn't spectacular.
Yep.
He gave us 5 catches for 60 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Now Mike he got a week of practice. Now he ready to go. And then I didn't even get to Kamara. And I'm not even going to talk about the Niners right now. They just banged up. So I'm going with the Saints.
Let me check out my Dr. Pepper in real quick. So who that shit gonna beat them Saints?
Not San Fran.
Not San Fran.
Huh. Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh.
Shout out to Cincinnati real quick though, because Joe Burrow has been playing his tail off.
Mm-hmm.
Just that they gotta learn how to win them close games.
Mm-hmm. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this week.
I had the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this week.
Oh, this is your upset for the week?
I think there's a taper off between having Big Ben and Mason Rudolph. That is the only reason why.
But they said he could be cleared to play on Saturday. So just keep an eye on that with your pick.
I will, but I'm gonna just, you know, shake the cage up a little bit, rustle some feathers. I'm gonna go Mr. Cigar on this one.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, America, I forgot to tell you, I went 10-4 last week, and Calvin went 8-6. So I gained 2 games on him. I'm still only 3 games out. I'm still in this. Yeah, America, let's go.
Gotta get your wins how you can get them, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, as we always say about Sunday night football,
been waiting all day for Sunday night.
okay, featuring LJ, Lamar Jackson, what they call
Chocolate City.
him, and the Ravens versus Killer Cam and them Patriots.
Yeah, Cam might be getting killed with sacks.
Now, in the fourth quarter, he showed me something. Even though it was against the Jets, everybody, I get it. It's the 1-9 Jets. I get it.
1-9 when they win.
I mean 0-9. My bad. Let me not get it.
Because you know what I'm saying, they might win one game if they get Trevor Lawrence. You know, that's the only time that they might get that one game, and I don't know.
Don't. I apologize, America. They're 0-9.
They might go 0-16. Shout out to our classmate, Mr. Lardell, the Jets fan.
So yeah, Andrew, what up, boy? 0-9. Living the merry life. You know, I see y'all in Jersey. Now, as I was saying, Cam, he looked good for a quarter against the Jets. Got the win. But this defense with Baltimore is not the Jets.
Nope.
And Cam, you gonna be in your ass a little bit this week.
Yep. So, the preparation that they got last week, they're not getting this week.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going with the purple, the Ravens.
Doubling down on
at least 14. And then my favorite thing of football, Monday night prime time. So Calvin had his upset of the week, which was the Bengals over the Steelers. We had our lock'em pick as the Packers over the Jacksonville Jaguars. My upset pick is coming this week. I'm going off of record-wise. Chicago has the better record than Minnesota. But it's time to cook on them.
Hey.
Shout out to Dalvin Cook, Florida State.
Oh.
With 8 touchdowns in 2 games.
Indeed.
You really don't see that. 7-8 touchdowns in 2 games. You really don't.
The last person that was doing something like that, whew, that boy wore 28.
Mm-hmm. He's still in the league. Now, the only person that Cook has to worry about on that defense is the Mac game. I'll give you
that. Right.
But that cutback move that Cook got is vicious. So, like I said, my upset pick is Minnesota over the Bears.
I got the same pick, but I didn't think it was so much of an upset. Just because I see how Minnesota's trending up right now. Them boys from Chicago looking kind of stale.
As I
So
said, record-wise.
I'm going with Minnesota.
But record-wise, that's why I said upset.
Yeah.
Now, my second upset potential would have been Cincinnati, but I don't see that happening. We gotta wait another week.
Yeah, I'm just no cautious to win. Oh, before we close out, we want to make sure we shout out our brother, fellow Lincoln alum, Mr. Vincent Sumbry, celebrated last week, a birthday last week. Welcome to the 30 Club, old head.
Mm-hmm. Dirty 30, boy.
Mm-hmm. He has two businesses, Vince's Fit, and my coworker will tell you the other one, my co-host.
Will I? I was caught off guard by this one. Sorry, I'm not prepared, everybody. I apologize. If my co-host would finish it, I'm actually don't have the information. That's like our only glitch for today, everybody.
Yeah, we gonna work on that for next week. So Vince's Fit is one of his businesses that he has. He's doing everything within health and fitness. And then he has another business that he does with two other Lincoln alum. Shout out to Wale and the crew. Gonna pull that up right now.
Also known as the 5-Star Boys. I see y'all.
The legendary
Mm-hmm.
Unfiltered podcast. Unfiltered the podcast. It's on SoundCloud, so you can be able to hear everything from a male's perspective, anything from manhood to politics to dating, relationship advice, in a very, as it suggests, unfiltered way. So please look out for that, Unfiltered the podcast, and also Vince is Fit. Please check out those two for our highlight, for our business spotlight for this week. Mm-hmm. Would there anything my co-host would like to say before we close out?
As I've been saying every week, stay safe, wear that mask. If you don't need to go nowhere, you don't go nowhere, because the numbers are definitely going up around the country over the last few weeks. Don't be surprised if everything gets shut back down again for like a week or two, because you ignorant people. Sorry to use that word, but throwing parties. Why would you throw a party during the pandemic?
Be responsible during your social gathering. Please adhere to CDC guidelines. We're not saying that, you might not need people around you to uplift your spirits, but please do so responsibly. Mm-hmm. I think that's what my co-host was basically trying to say. Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I'm gonna be honest with you, everybody. People, you can't be all nice about this. Shout out to our governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo. He don't care who you are. He making sure New York is good, and that's where I'm getting my energy from. I know,
and that's all the aims for all the politicians of all the states. Absolutely, I agree.
Positive vibes over here, everybody. You see the smile. I'm still here.
Indeed. So please tune in to your football week for this week. NBA season. Shout out to Alpha Kappa Alpha, because Ms. Harris is an esteemed member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. And also, we want to make sure that before we go, please like, share, comment. Also on our YouTube page, New York Lifestyle, Rock to BK Connection, as well as our Facebook page. Everyone, have a good day. And as my boy TIP like to say, peace.